Welcome to the Brandon and Carlos show. I'm Brandon, and this is my co-host Carlos.
Hey, everybody.
Well, we're back again.
It's another week. It's May.
Man, yeah, it is. So what's been going on with you?
Man, you know what? It's just amazing. I was thinking about this last year. You know, it was hard for me to get a job. You know, I got a CDLA and couldn't find a job anywhere except for, little odd jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And, you were a big help in that department. And then this year, people are laid off work because of the virus.
Right.
And I'm blessed to work through it.
Right.
So I'm just, ecstatic and just blessed. God has really just opened up doors upon doors for me. And I'm just ecstatic and happy. Even in the midst of this mess that we're going in, God still sees fit to bless little me. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, if y'all been keeping up with the show, you know that I keep talking about how we're going natural at my house. We don't use soap and stuff that has parabens in it and,
Right.
chemicals. We try to use all natural stuff, organic or whatever. I never could understand what organic soap was, but, I had trouble trying to find a deodorant. Because what was going on, y'all, was I had this deodorant. I'm not going to name the name because I don't want to bash that brand. But I was using this deodorant, and it said all natural, no, because the thing I think that causes cancer is the aluminum. Man, I would try it, and it wouldn't. It wouldn't work.
It wasn't hold.
Yeah, it wouldn't hold. So I was like, well, we can go natural on everything, but when it comes to deodorant, we gotta have aluminum in it because I can't smell myself. But anyway, there is hope because I finally came across a brand of natural, at least they say they're natural, deodorant that actually keeps the whole day. You don't stink. And it's they're not paying us for this advertisement. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. I'm gonna give them a free little shout out. It's gonna call Dr. Tills.
Okay.
And it has sage and all this other stuff in it. And so I'm very ecstatic about that.
All right.
The garden's growing well.
Yeah, I saw your pictures last night.
Yeah, if you follow me on Facebook, you see that
he had it all nice and neat. I was like, all right.
And that's why I'm a little tired this morning because I've been in the yard and stuff like that. So, but it's been very interesting in these last few weeks since we've been under, what is this called, a quarantine?
Quarantine.
Yeah, we've gotten to do a lot of stuff at home. Listen, let me tell y'all something out there in Facebook land. If your house hasn't improved since we've been home, shame on you. Because I've been able to get a lot of stuff done at my house. I've been in parts of my house that I didn't even know existed. Trying to get stuff together. But definitely, it's some interesting time. Well, that's enough about us. We're going to talk about the Bishop Hezekiah Walker and John P. Key challenge.
Yeah, that battle. Listen, first and foremost, those are two legendary gospel artists. And what makes them so legendary even more is their reach goes beyond gospel music. So, like, Hezzy in New York, John in North Carolina, listen, the who's who of just the musicians and background singers and stuff, they got a long laundry list of people who are now in the secular world and in the gospel world who have come from them or been around them. And it was just amazing. If y'all missed the battle, I don't know if they can go restream it?
We have to look it up and see.
Because it wasn't a versus. Versus is Timbaland and Swiss Beats. But it was in that same format. And even Timbaland and Swiss Beats, they even announced it, giving kudos and respect to them.
Right.
And they came through the battle on the live stream feed, and Missy was in there. A whole lot of who's who in the music industry and the entertainment world came through to see the battle. I think they jumped up to almost 100,000 people, which is amazing for gospel.
Right. And do you remember? Because we watched both. Carlos and I, when I say both, let me tell you the other one we watched, the Babyface and the Teddy Riley challenge,
Yeah,
and all the technical difficulties had. I'm trying to see which one had more.
Because I would have to say the Teddy Riley Babyface had way more technical difficulties.
No, not technical difficulties. How many more viewers?
Oh no, the Babyface and Teddy Riley, they had millions.
Really?
They had millions. They had like 4 million. And then let me tell you about the scope of that one. Babyface and Teddy Riley, their streams went up according to Nielsen SoundScan.
Mm-hmm.
Their streams of their music being bought and streamed around the world quadrupled from that battle. So even though they had to do it 3 times to get that battle and to get the sound and everything together, they were blessed tremendously, and they were doing interviews. They were doing interviews left and right, talking about just some of the things that they've accomplished, the people they've worked with, the things that they're working on now. Teddy is about to bring Blackstreet back out with the original and the newer members. They're about to do, when all this is over, they're gonna do a tour. Babyface got some stuff that he's doing. Like, it was amazing. And so in that same vein, they got a new versus coming out. It's Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu. Listen, I will be there. It's May 9th. I'm going to be there for that. I'm a fan of both those artists. I've seen them multiple times in concert. Matter of fact, I have tickets to go see Jill Scott in June in Indianapolis, my hometown. Hey, Mom, I'm taking you if we still get out of this in time. So I'm excited for that.
Right. Well, let's get to this John P. Key versus Hezekiah Walker.
Yes.
All right. So a lot of people, I was reading the comments, and a lot of people seem to have made some negative comments. I was looking at it because even John P. Key made a statement about it. He was like, we're not going to let the negative comments bother us. We both were legends. Don't quote me verbatim. In our own rights.
Well, people wanted them to really battle. Like, they wanted to be like in the spirit of hip hop,
right? Where
they like dissing each other, and they're not about that. They've known each other since the mid '80s, and they've done music together. I mean, if you're in the gospel music world, it's that big. So they've done music together forever, and it wasn't about that. Hezzy called John P. Key out because he wanted to have fun. He wanted to highlight John P. Key and everything that he's done. John P. Key got 40 plus years in the music biz, and not just gospel. Like, if you look up his testimony before gospel, he was doing stuff with other funk bands, singing backup and playing for him, which is one of the main reasons why his sound is what it is.
Right.
So. And Hezekiah Walker wanted to highlight that and show love. And it was something for the fans, the gospel music fans, especially since we've been in quarantine, we can't get out. It was something to uplift us, and they gave us over 20 songs. They gave us like 25 songs.
Yeah.
So it was really good.
And I'm like that they're doing, liking that they're doing stuff like that because, you do get bored, especially when you can't go anywhere that you normally would go.
Right.
But people got to understand, these artists are doing this stuff out of the kindness of their heart. Right. They don't have to do it. And that's what was bothering me. Is like, why are you going to be negative about it? Keep in mind, it's not a professional production that they were doing. All they have is their phone. And
unless you're Teddy Riley.
Yeah, he had the whole get up. But the thing is, and me, I'm a geek, so I know, at least I really believe I know, thought that I knew what the problems were.
Right.
Even John P. Key and Hezekiah Walker, they had a few little difficulties. But I must say, Teddy Riley versus Babyface had a lot more technical.
But I will say this, in Teddy's defense, if you would have saw if you once the battle was over and you went to Teddy Riley's, you put me onto this.
Yeah.
Go to Teddy Riley's website. He had a whole studio and a whole stage set up in his house. And what he was trying to do was actually give us a show. And listen, the show that they gave The after party was ridiculous. Like I told you, you put me on that one.
Right.
Listen.
Right.
Those brothers rocked it.
And I think you still can see it, y'all. Let me look it up real quick. It's called TeddyRileyLive.com. Go on there and watch
it's actually Blackstreet. It's
Blackstreet.
They got Dave Hollister, from the whole Blackstreet.
Yeah.
They got 2 new members. And then they're gonna bring back the other 2 members once they go on tour.
Right.
But listen, they rocked.
And I'm such a great sound quality. But listen, let me tell y'all. We're talking about Bishop Walker versus John P. Key. All this goes together, I promise. Just stay with me. Let me tell y'all, during these last, especially as church people, we've been doing streaming. Sometimes we can make it difficult, especially in an interaction like this, like what we got going on with our live show.
Right.
Just like let me show you. Excuse me. All they had to do. Hold on, I'm here. All they had to do was get this little piece right here. It's called an iRead. All right. So let me explain this to y'all. I'm about to give y'all a free lesson. You record with your phone, right? In the bottom of your phone, if you got an iPhone, you got a connector port, and then some of the older ones has a headphone jack, right? All right. So peep this out. You take this and plug into your phone, and then you take a microphone cable and plug it in here. And then from your microphone cable, you go into the out of your mixing board. All right? Let's go over this again. You take, let's start with the mixing board. Mixing board, whatever you put in it, blase. You come out of your mixing board with a microphone cable and go into this little piece right here. And then from that little piece, you plug this piece in your phone. So what happens is whatever's in your mixing board, whether it be microphones, keyboards, drums, or whatever, it's going to come through the feed. That's all they had to do. Well, and then, excuse me, because I get passionate about this. I'm talking about the Teddy Riley thing. I think Teddy Riley overdid it, and everybody was in the comments talking about unplug the iRead and just use your phone, which would have worked, right? But when you're doing music, it's hard to do it that way, because if you notice, what happens is the music, just like with Bishop Walker, if you notice, John P. Key's sounded clear, and Hezekiah Walker's, you could hear it, but it was kind of like distant. Yeah. Well, the reason why it wasn't going directly into the phone. Right. So if you're using music, it is best to go straight through the phone, But people were you was about to say something. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, people in the comments was telling them what to do. Yeah. Like, it was crazy.
It was too many comments though. In their defense, and plus you doing a show and you see someone, and I hate it because people say turn up the volume. Well, we're doing a show. I can't freaking turn up the volume. Right. And it'd be so funny. Even when we streaming at church, people be posting stuff like, can't hear this. I'm like, well, I'm playing the piano. I mean, I can't do anything about it. Right. And then the people, by the time you correct the problem, right, a lot of times the show or the stream is over. So sometimes for the sake of us creative people, right, if something is bad, just forgive us. If the sound quality is bad, just forgive us. Text us after the show. We can't really do anything about it while the show's going on or the stream is going on. But Bishop Walker, let's talk about Bishop Walker. We just had Jason Claiborne on last.
He started off with his song.
They started off with his song. And so I'm on my phone like this, like, hey, bro, look what they started out with. He's like, yeah, that was crazy. But Bishop, listen, both of them, Bishop Walker and John P. I taught all of their, I can't say all of them, but a lot of their catalog to my choirs over the years.
And it still goes.
And it still goes. So it really, when they say Bishop Walker versus John P. Key, or Teddy Riley versus this, or Prince versus Michael Jackson, Beyonce versus Yolanda Adams, I don't know, that's not a good mix up. But, when they say that, it's not really, surely we don't have to tell y'all this, but it's not a real battle.
It's not a real battle.
All it is it's a fun thing. I won't call it clickbait because that's probably the wrong word, but it's something to capture your attention. Because if you see two great people battling each other, of course you're going to turn in. But neither one of them came with the mindset of, I'm going to beat you. But in the comments, that's why Now it would have been crazy if they turned them comments off.
Yeah,
because you know you can do that.
yeah, you can.
You know, for live stuff. I don't know how you do it on IG, but I know you can do it on YouTube, and I think even Facebook. But both of them, and then they're really two different type of music. I mean, it's gospel.
They are, but they're not, because they have a lot of the same stuff in there. Because a lot of the what we call New York funk is funk, and that's what John came from. But John has that old traditional sound too that he incorporates, that makes it a little bit more traditional gospel-y before he gets to that.
But see, in this is just my opinion. Everybody has an opinion, right?
Right.
All right. John P. Key is more like a group. Even though he's had choirs, the sound.
Well, they're a group now.
Yeah,
but he can't, because you remember New Life was a whole choir.
Yeah,
bro.
it was a choir, but the type of songs they did, I wouldn't necessarily call them choir songs. I would call them group songs.
No.
Yes.
No.
Choir songs. Okay, like Hezekiah Walker. Who else? James Hall.
Oh, shout out to Ricky Dillon.
Ricky Dillon.
His new album is Bananas, Choir Master. Go peep that.
Man, they got, if they listen to gospel, they surely sing.
Go peep that.
But
I ain't seen it live, but I listen to it in my truck all day long.
But that's my opinion. Now, John P. Key stuff, like he does a lot of he borrows or samples a lot from, you know, secular music, which is nothing wrong with it. I love it. Kurt Franklin does it too. Hezekiah Walker on the other end. Then you got Bishop Hezekiah Walker. He really doesn't write. I don't think he's ever written a song. If you know,
he's written a song. He's just not off into it. Like John P. Key is a serious writer. Like for real.
Yeah. So I don't. What, name me a song that he? If y'all are listen, y'all was just watching. If you think that Hezekiah Walker has actually written a song, or you know that he's written a song, please tell me.
He's written a song.
What song?
Man, hold on, man. See now, hold on. Where my people at? What's up, Miss Jasmine?
I think he's written one song.
Man, he's written more than one song.
Just like Ricky Dillon. Ricky Dillon doesn't write songs; he just arranges them.
Yeah,
John P. Key, on the other hand, is a writer, a producer. You know, and I'm not taking anything away from Bishop Walker, but I'm just saying the differences. You know, and how asinine, you like that word, it is to
it's an SAT word, bro.
To how asinine it is to, you know, say that they're battling each other, you know, even though they call it verses. It's just a marketing thing to get you to watch it.
Right.
But both of them, yes, both of them have great. Oh, then Fred Hammond was on there.
Yes.
And I saw him pop up in the little comments. I was like, oh, look at Fred Hammond.
Fred is going to do a live concert with RFC, the original RFC. They don't know the date when they're going to do that.
What's RFC?
Radical for Christ, for those who don't know. I'm a big, Fred Hammond is my favorite of all-time gospel. That's him with Commission, and then, you know, his solo stuff, RFC, and then back to his solo group stuff. Mm-hmm. Fred across the board is my favorite.
But I brought that up because John P. Key was kept on talking about how they need to do a tour together. Fred Hammond, and John P. Key.
I'm there.
If they do that tour, bruh, I promise you, I'm promoting that tour here.
Bro, listen, I am there.
We bring
the tickets is gonna be about
to Pensacola, Florida.
I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm there.
When they do that, I'm bringing them to Pensacola, Florida.
First and foremost, you know they all gonna have live bands. Yeah. You know they're gonna have
that. You know what? And I love that. You know, being a musician, you know, I'm not gonna pay for a concert and show up and all they have is a track.
Man,
you know, you can stay at home. I won't. And then live music is totally different than recorded music because they have the liberties to, like, you know, do stuff. If you notice live, you know, your concerts, the music is the same. However, they take musical liberties to do. You still looking that up? I'm telling you, Hezekiah Walker.
I am.
Has probably written one song.
No, listen, he got too many albums to not written at least one song.
Well, can't you Google it? Say, hey, Google, you know, since you got an Android. But yeah,
I almost want to say he wrote like the small songs, like "Won't He Make You Clean," the one that has like,
and I'm thinking like one word,
three sentences,
yeah,
but they still cold.
Yeah, man, for sure. But I think that they did an excellent job of, what they did. John P. Key cracks me up though.
Man,
He's like the hood pastor.
Man, he kills me because before every song, if you're not 50, you're not going to understand the song. It'll be a hymn.
And I'm like,
they've been singing in the church for 100 years.
Yeah, I'm not 50, but I know what song you're talking about. But yeah, we brought him here to Pensacola.
We did.
He did an excellent job. I would love to bring Hezekiah Walker here. I'm pretty sure we haven't been here long, maybe 2, 3. I've been here maybe going on 5 years. He's been here about
second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, listen, if we get Hazzy, Fred, we can even do John again.
That's what I'm saying. If they go on tour, then that's what we're gonna do. But that's amazing. Tell us what y'all think. The few of you all that are watching right now. Please share this. You can always go back and watch these lives. We decided to go live because it's fun. It's fun. It's killing two birds with one stone.
Exactly.
But it was an amazing show.
It was.
And what's the next one that's coming up? You said Jill Scott
and Erykah Badu, May 9th.
Jill Scott and Erykah Badu. I wonder how that's gonna go.
Man, listen, they both have hits for days.
Yeah.
The catalogs are about equally as deep. Erykah came out a little bit before Jill. I think Erykah came out like 96. Jill came out in 2000.
And Jill's from the Church of God in Christ, ain't she? I don't know if that really matters. It just that was a random thought. Like Jill saved Erykah by this. But nah, I was just thinking. But go ahead, Carlos.
Listen, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of both of those artists' work. They both have tremendous catalogs. They both put on tremendous live performances. I've seen Jill Scott at least 6 times. I've seen Erykah Badu 3 times live and in concert. So it's going to be a good time. And they're both goofy, funny people. And if you, like I said, if you've never been to one of their concerts, I encourage you to get there to one of them because, like I said, they're going to put on a show and they're going to show all types of personality along with it. So it's going to be a whole vibe. May 9th.
Shout out to Swiss Beats and Timberland. They the ones have been making this happen.
Yeah, that's even the verses.
Even the Bishop John P. Key.
That wasn't through their platform, but they definitely
supported it.
They supported it and promoted it.
Yeah, Swiss Beats. This is what Billboard says. Swiss Beats and Timberland have been heating up Instagram with their Insane Versus Battle series. And next up in the ring are Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. It's time for the Queens on Versus. And that's VERZUZ. So this is an actual thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
It's
an actual entertainment production.
Right.
That they've actually come up with. They've been in the works with it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And this quarantine, for all intents and purposes, allowed them to be able to bring that to fruition. And while we're highlighting them, let me highlight Questlove and the Roots. If you guys don't know about their streaming, they've been on YouTube. It's called The Stream of Thought, Black Thought and the Roots. They've done a whole collective thing where they've had Black Thought, where he's just rhyming solo, NPR Tiny Desk at Home, and different things, other different platforms that they've had on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Then Questlove has been going, he's a DJ also. He's been DJing different people, like Bill Withers when he passed, he DJ'd him all night. He was doing Fela Kuti tonight because his drummer, his famous drummer, Tony Allen, passed away yesterday. So he'll be doing Fela Kuti all weekend. He's been doing that, for parties and stuff. And then the Roots is a whole collective band. So each one of the band members have taken a solo night to discuss, their musical catalog that they've done solo with the Roots, their musical influences, and had Zoom Zoom conversations with different people and different things. It's been a dope thing. You should definitely go check it out. It's called Streams of Thought. It's on their YouTube channel, Black Thought and the Roots. Man, it's been ridiculous. I've tuned into a lot of their things. Like James Poyser, he's also in the gospel industry. He's done a lot of stuff with Ty Tribbett, the Roots. He's done stuff with Hezi. He's done stuff with Israel. So it's like they're connected. So go peep that out. If you love good hip hop and good music, go check him out.
Does Israel still make music?
He does. He does. He just came out with some. I want to say he just came out with something not too long ago. Oh, Jonathan McReynolds' album. Hey, people. That whole album is bananas. People, go listen to that. Jonathan McReynolds. And he actually has a whole live video to every song on YouTube and his channel.
Right.
So it was very creative and it goes. It's really nice.
Yeah. Well, enough about that verses. Let's talk about Kim Jung Un. Okay. So, like many of you all, I was laying in my bed a couple of weeks ago, and I saw this. Someone shared a post that Kim Jong Un was dead, and I think it was TMZ that shared it, and or who broke the story. And I was like, I woke my wife up, and I'm like, dang, Kim Jong Un just died. He had a heart attack, and and then now I woke up this morning and I see that New York Times reports Kim Jong Un resurfaces. State media says after weeks of health rumors. I actually thought that he was dead.
Man, you know what? I don't know why people are so quick to try to kill folks.
I don't know. But TMZ, I'm not gonna lie. TMZ is very rarely wrong.
That's true.
I mean, they I think they're the first ones who reported Kobe Bryant dying, the helicopter crash. And, rest in peace.
It was Gigi's birthday, May 1st, yesterday. Rest in peace, Gigi.
Yes. But TMZ, they hardly ever, do you hear me, get it wrong. But they got this one wrong. They done put the man dead and everything. And it was so funny because I was watching CNN this morning.
Right.
And they're talking CNN, but they be throwing some shade.
Man, CNN bored.
Listen, because one of the ladies that was the anchor woman, she was reporting and she was saying, well, we know that he has health issues. You can obviously see he has obesity problems. Like she literally, and I'm watching the TV. I'm like, oh, wow. They really said, you know what? News has changed.
It really has.
When I was a child,
they used to be real professional.
It was so professional. Like the news people will be, using their SAT words, as you were saying.
Exactly.
And you understood them. They were articulate. They were thorough. All of the adjectives that you can ascribe to them, they were that. But now, they be cussing on the news.
Man, listen, they be throwing shade, cussing. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And I'm tired of the news going live. Like, leave that for us to do live. We live in Pensacola. We got a local news station down here. I'm not going to say who it is. But every time, something and then it'd be so crazy because they'll go live and nothing be there. And they'd be like breaking news and nothing to be there. And then they finally come in.
It was funny because remember when this all began, the quarantine all began, and they were stopping people from coming in Florida.
Yeah,
and they went live doing that.
Yeah.
Man,
it's like go back to being a professional news outlet. Leave the other stuff for stuff like us, podcasters and civilian journalists.
And it's funny that you say that. Because I was watching the NBA draft the other night, and they did the NBA draft.
They still did the draft.
Because all the players were at home. Yeah. So they did it online, and it was the NBA draft. It was the NFL draft. Excuse me. And if the backstory wasn't about one of the kids' parents or something, they would give a backstory. Like kid went to UCLA, 6'5", playing defensive end, 230.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. parent was a drug addict at the end.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, why would you put that in his bio?
Right.
I'm like, how disrespectful
Like,
is that?
because when they say it's news, you know,
That's not news. Leave that man's parents alone. It's like if we didn't have come from a messed up household, it wasn't good. They's like, oh, he's gonna suck. He doesn't want it bad enough. He doesn't come from a broken home, so now we're giving him millions and we're just showing him the way.
man.
Why is it that every single time that a kid has to have his bio, it has to be something, it has to end up in something negative? Dad was never in his life. What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going on TMZ. What I'm doing right now is going on TMZ's website to see if they have anything to say. Like, did they recant, you know, that he's dead? You know, because they reported that he was dead.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see here. I'm gonna type in TMZ, Kim Jung Un. And how do you? I've heard some people say Kim Jong Un, and like, how do you say it?
I don't know. I don't know how to speak Korean.
But those are English letters. But listen, okay, so 7 days ago, North Korea dictator Kim Jong Un reportedly dead. This was 7 days ago. And then they have this picture of him. Oh, Lord. This is 7 days ago. TMZ reports. North Korea's supreme leader, dictator Kim Jong Un has reportedly died. Okay. Or is on his deathbed with no hope of recuperation, according to media outlets in China and Japan. And then it goes forward. Okay. Now watch this. You speed up until the day. Then you see Kim Jong-un resurfaces. State media says after weeks of health rumors.
Right.
So is he dead or alive?
He's alive because he was just at
They posted, yes.
Okay, so they posted a picture of him at a factory.
What type of factory was it? I don't know why this is funny.
It was a fertilizer factory.
I don't know why that's funny.
It was a fertilizer.
But it's funny to me. That's the kid inside of me. We all know what fertilizer is. So the very first time he resurfaces, woo! Look, I might have something. He might be sending us a message. The very first time he's opening,
right,
or the very first reappearance of him that you see is him opening up a doo-doo factory.
Yeah.
So he might be saying that I really am dead. This is
really
doo-doo. I don't know. I'm just messing. But yeah, Kim Jong-un. But it's so crazy because they show this picture of him cutting the ribbon. And then I'm thinking, because I'm a photographer, I'm like, they could have easily photoshopped that. Because they made it so obvious. Because guess what they did? They put a sign up that said May 1st. That was yesterday? Yeah. So they put a sign up that said May 1st. That would be so easy to go in there and Photoshop that. But anyway, Kim Jong-un, he's 36. He had last appeared publicly on April the 11th. Speculation about his health and about who took over.
He had heart surgery, didn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the people on CNN, the little lady that's throwing shade, she said, well, you can tell he has health problems because he's obviously obese. And then the guy that she was talking to, they're doing the show together. He's like, yeah, and he smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and he eats what else? He eats this, and I'm like, how do y'all know this stuff? Did he say I smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day?
Bro, listen.
They be throwing shade.
Really?
All right. Last up, America opens back up.
Yeah. So on this one, this was real funny. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, on the west side of town in Indianapolis. It's Hallville, USA. Shout out to them. There's a donut spot that is like probably the best donut I've ever had in my life. It's just the spot in town. And they opened back up yesterday. Been shut down during the whole time. They opened back up, and they literally had a line around the block of people. And they opened up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They had a line at 5 o'clock in the morning And one of the young artists there, he did a whole song about this particular bakery back home. So people were just ecstatic. And then here in Pensacola, people were like in lines to get to the beach.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me. Like, people have been really waiting for us to open back up. As for me in my house, I'm gonna stay my tail at home.
Listen, that media, not media, but that news agency that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, they went live yesterday. And I was like, oh, okay, I wonder what they're reporting about. And here's this lady with her little phone, and sure enough, she's like taking a picture of the beach, but nobody on the beach. But then there's like, she said that there was, I guess it's good that they go live, but I wouldn't have known this information I'm about to give you had she not went live. But they had this what am I trying to say? Oh, all of these cars was lined up to see the sunrise. They didn't get out. They were just, and this is Pensacola Beach. They were just looking at the sunrise. And I was like, oh, I think that's cute, you know. And then you're right. But you can't, in Florida, you can go to the beach, but you can't have a group of more than 10.
Yeah, it's like we opened back up, but not really. Because like back home in Indianapolis, the mayor was like, nah, we still on quarantine until halfway through May. And Simon Malls tried to open up, and they thought they was going to open up. And the city shut them down. They was like, nah, nope.
Okay.
Not going to be able to do it.
But let's go back to what I just said. We are allowed to go to the beach, and we can't gather in groups of more than 10. Now, if everybody and their mama go to the beach with a group of 10, there's no way that you can practice social distancing.
No way.
Right? You got groups of 10. So how are you going to stay 6 feet away from the next group?
I mean,
you've been to the beach down here. It's crazy.
I mean, there's a lot of beach, but people just don't care.
It's, they don't care. So Florida, I don't know what's going on in the rest of the world, but Florida's opening back up in phases. I was going to look at this executive order that Governor DeSantis, it's 2 phases. So the first phase will begin Monday with restaurants and stores being allowed to operate at 25% capacity. Okay.
So they still gonna keep that 6 feet rule. So they still gonna have them little dots on the floor where you got to stand on.
Right. And then the next phase,
people be serious about them dots too, boy. If you stand 1 inch off them dots, they're like, you're not 6 feet away. I be sitting there looking at them like, man, shut up talking to me.
Yeah. And then timeline for theme parks, because you know we got Disney World down here.
Yeah.
But that's going to be.
Hey, you know they talking about doing NBA games at Disney World, ESPN?
Really?
Yeah, they talking about doing NBA games because they're trying to figure out if they can finish the season. Really, I don't want them to finish the season because I don't want LeBron to get another ring. Yes, I'm petty.
Wow.
Now.
But they're opening up stuff in phases. And, so America opens back up.
What are y'all thoughts on it? Like, y'all just going to jump outside and disregard?
Are you going to the beach?
I won't be there. I'm good.
I ain't going to lie. I do want to go to the beach. The beach is in our backyard, and we're not going to the beach, but we might go and drive by it.
I drive by it on my route, so I'm good. You know what? I'm convinced that the prettiest vantage point here in Pensacola was when you go over the bridge over there by the Civic Center, and you can see downtown Pensacola with the buildings on one side and the water on the other side. I always wanted to take a picture, but I've been too busy driving because that bridge is a little unsettling.
Well, that bridge is scary. So this scene that Carlos speaks of, I haven't seen it because I'm so focused, on not.
But I have to say that's the prettiest vantage point. Like, I've always wanted to take a picture of that. So if anybody's doing that, if you wanted to slow down and just go over the bridge, go ahead and take a picture.
Do not slow down while I'm behind you. Because if you slow down while I'm behind you, you're going to be over the bridge. We come straight through. I don't like heights. But America opens back up. I think things are going to be, this is my opinion, I think the paradigm, you like that word?
Boy, you just all in the SAT book today, boy.
I think the paradigm is shifting. I believe that the way that things have happened during this spell will continue to go like that. You know, even with the whole mask thing, I believe that you will start to see. I'm not a prophet or anything, but I believe that you will start to see that these masks are going to become fashion statements. Like
they pretty much have. I mean,
I mean, actually buying them in the store.
I've seen Coach and Louis Vuitton.
Them ain't real, man.
No, like if you go on Louis Vuitton's website, they actually got masks. You hop on there,
man. You crazy? Hold on. You talk about what you talking about while I do this, Louis.
Because I think they already have started that stuff. As far as that's
concerned. But so you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You will find that I'm looking for this Louis Vuitton thing. You will find that the distancing thing. I think that those little dots that you spoke of, I think that they're going to be on there. There's going to be signs up everywhere, and these signs are going to be more permanent. I'm about to turn them comments off because you're not looking.
I am looking.
I'm
trying to read the comments because people are commenting on the show. You will turn them off
because I'm talking disrespectful. The Brandon and Carlos show.
We did that because it's alphabetical.
Brandon and Carlos show. But listen, listen, man, I'm getting old now. You know I forget what I'm talking about. What was I saying?
Oh no,
man. Oh, the dots on the floor. Thank you. You know how I was church. Thank you, Holy Ghost. The dots are going to stay on the floor. I think that those signs are going to become a more public fixture.
Yeah.
The shields, they had this plexiglass fit here. I'll turn these back on.
Which really doesn't make sense to me because the shield is only like this big.
Yeah.
But what happens to the rest,
the
rest of the area?
Bro, I went to Lowe's to buy some flowers yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, the shield is like you said, that big. And the woman comes around the shield to give me my change.
Yeah.
I'm like, get your butt back over there. You got this shield. You stay on the other side of the shield. You stay on the other side of the shield.
I'm like, I need to take these folks down to the hood restaurants where it's nothing but bulletproof glass that goes all the way around. That's what we need. If that's what y'all gonna do to try to keep safe from the virus, you can't have a shield that's this big and the rest of it is just open.
They need to go They need to go to Mary's Barbecue in Nashville, Tennessee, on Jefferson Avenue. That's the epitome of what he's talking about.
Yes.
You go and order your barbecue, and they're putting it through a little slide like they got at the bank.
It rotates.
Yeah.
You put the stuff, and they go, here's your stuff, here's your money, here's your receipt, here's your food. That's what y'all need to get to if that's what we're going to do.
Okay. I saw this meme. Well, it may not be a meme, but I saw this PDF file this morning that's giving a description of why people should wear masks.
Okay.
It has a picture. I should have screenshotted it so y'all could have seen it, but let me use my words to describe it.
All right.
They had 3 pictures.
Story time with Brandon.
Yes, 3 pictures. And they all had a man in his pants.
Mm.
And then in the first picture is 2 men. Mm. And then in the second picture is a man who peed on himself. And then another picture that said, okay. Anyway, it is not a joke. This is serious. It was showing how if you pee on yourself, the reason why you got on pants is to keep the pee from getting on somebody else.
Right.
So they're using that as an analogy to say that that's why you wear a mask, because it keeps your germs inside you.
Right.
Okay, but then I had a problem with that because I'm like, I'm not a scientist, but pee and germs are 2 different things. I mean, what I'm saying is germs can get through. I'm trying to spit out of it. Germs can get through. Like, they act like germs
can't get through a mask.
But anyway, we're talking about America opens back up. I think that you're going to see.
That's going to be the new president. How things
how things have been going. The new paradigm. Now, Carlos says that there's going to be Louis Vuitton face masks. I'm on here and I have not seen no Louis Vuitton. I'm going to use their search field face mask. If you
I
find a
don't know
Louis,
if they got it yet, but I know it's coming. Watch
listen,
what I tell you.
if you get a Louis Vuitton
Watch
face,
what I tell you.
if you get a Louis Vuitton face mask, it's not real.
Watch what
it's
I tell
like
you.
them purses some of y'all be carrying.
Watch what I tell you. Look, if black folk or folk make it more fashionable enough, especially when we come out from quarantine and we go to them concerts and VMA concerts and all that stuff, you know, and, online shows, and somebody has a mask, and I'll watch what I tell you.
Yeah. Now I will say this coronavirus has really made us become very creative.
Yes.
I mean, like I start back work Monday. I don't even remember how to do my job. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a trainer. I am one of the trainers, and I'm gonna have to take a training course myself to remember. I've been off of work 2 months, but bro, right? Louis Vuitton does not have face masks.
I bet you they
now they have an initiative that talks about making protective gear. They're talking about making non-surgical face masks. Okay, so you're right. Mm-hmm. They're talking about it, but it's not out.
It's not out yet.
If you have a Louis Vuitton mask right now, I'm sorry to tell you, honey, that's not real.
Unless you got a real bag and made it yourself.
And why would you do that? Bag is thousands of dollars.
I mean, if you got money like that.
Yeah, they didn't do that. But people have been very creative making masks. My wife got me some from somebody she knows, and so I have to wear that. So that can be a part of, America opens back up. We're not going to be the same.
We're not.
That's the point I'm making.
Yeah,
things are not going to be the same.
Yeah, and it's funny because I took a Lyft home the other day, and my Lyft driver was just like, if you cannot handle change or a paradigm shifts, this season is going to basically be extremely, tough and rough on you. Yeah, because we just experienced a major shift, and you're going to have to be able to flow with it. Case in point, with restaurants had to get on their online game, and they had to get on their delivery game to make it through this time, because if they didn't,
right,
they were going to be up a creek without a paddle. It's going to be very interesting to go forth. I would like to try to see maybe if we could find some people in the barber or in the beauty industry to see how they've adjusted to this, because that's a very personable industry.
Yeah.
And I believe they might, have to maybe start making house calls, and at least a little bit until things begin to get back to normal.
My barber makes house calls, so I've been getting my hair cut this whole Corona season because I believe in haircuts. I do. I believe in haircuts. What else is probably going to be different?
Well,
the new norm. What's else going to be the new norm?
Well, I think just people being more aware of,
like, I get what you're saying. Handshakes,
out
of style. There's no more handshakes. I mean, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you that right now.
Yeah, straight.
You might as well go ahead. That President Trump, bless his little heart, he might as well do an executive order and say, "I decree," like
black folk.
There's handshakes, because I'm telling you, I'm not shaking anybody's hand.
Nah, it's gonna be straight fist bumps, elbow bumps.
Because I didn't even think about how
black fist salute for the black folk.
Think about how nasty it is. Think about this, y'all. And we were doing this. This is part of our culture. We shake hands, and hug, and kiss, and all that other stuff. But think about how nasty that is. I mean, even kissing. I know we supposed to be romantic, but think about it. You putting your mouth on somebody else's mouth. What? You're not going with me on this?
I'm with you, bro. Go ahead.
You putting your mouth on somebody else's mouth. Do you know how disgusting that is? Like, I hope my wife ain't watching. I don't even want to kiss anymore.
No, she watching.
I don't want to kiss anymore. Because
really, really.
but on a serious note, you wake up. Okay, so what do? When you meet a stranger, what do? First thing you did back in the day, you shook their hand.
Right.
Think about, you don't know where his hand or her hand's been.
That's facts.
He could have just
used the bathroom
and
not watched that.
And we
like
all have
counterparts. That's all I'm gonna say.
We all have seen people go in that bathroom and not wash their hands, and we have all seen it. So let me say this.
Oh, you in trouble?
No, I'm just saying. I don't even know if I want. I've seen people do this. Come on, demonstrate. I've seen people do that. I don't even know if I want to do that. Like I said, like times have changed.
Up for black folk, down for white folk. Like it was back in the day.
Times have really changed. Because how would you ever? I would have never thought about. Oh, I don't want to shake their hand. I would have never thought about that in the past. But now, like you said, it's bringing our attention to be more health conscious. Like everything you touch is nasty. Like we should just wear gloves. Matter of fact, here's a new paradigm. Everybody stay at home like we've been, and everything is brought to you. You can work from home.
I mean, and that's another paradigm. There's gonna be some jobs that now will require you to work from home.
Right.
Because if you think about it, like, okay, if you look at Netflix doesn't have movie houses all over the nation, but they're the number one streaming service.
That's right. Uber don't own their own cars, but they're the number one taxi.
Yeah. So everything is shifting in that paradigm, and I think some of the office jobs and stuff that we have
right
now are going to start requiring you to work from home. It's just because it's more expedient, and you don't have to pay for lighting a building. You don't have to pay all the expenses for that.
Right.
You can just pay for your computer, some good Wi-Fi, and internet.
Right.
And go. It's simplified.
I was talking to somebody because honestly, there's an idea that I do want to develop, and that is a near contactless society.
I think we're kind of moving in that direction because the fallout from this coronavirus is not going to be done until probably the next couple of years.
Right.
Like that's how big a paradigm shift we're experiencing.
Well, I was talking to somebody that was like, well, there's certain jobs that you can't stay at home for.
Right.
And which I understand that. Like for example, like his. Okay, let's use yours. He's a truck driver. So, but did you know that Tesla has developed a driverless semi-automatic truck? Is that the right word? Semi-automatic? No, that ain't what I'm talking. What do you call them things? The big truck. Yeah.
Semi truck.
Oh, okay. Semi truck. They have developed one.
Yes.
And it's very affordable. Tesla's making cars. Right now, there's cars out that drive themselves. If you don't know that, beloved, you have been living up under a rock.
Yes, we're about 100 years from the Jetsons, but we're coming on.
Yes, we're very, very much so. But there's a lot of stuff that, okay, a lot of you, when you were younger, you thought we would have flying cars by now.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Flying cars, is that really necessary? Right. If they wanted to make flying cars, it could be done.
I mean, according to the U.S., we went to the moon. So, I mean, we did go to the moon. So that's
a whole nother show because I'm
pretty sure they could design a car that can fly.
Right. So what I'm saying, the point that I'm trying to make is, if the paradigm is shifting to a more contactless society, then the technology supports that. Because someone was, like I was saying, this guy said, well, some jobs they make robots, like factories, for example. Do you realize your car that you're driving, there's not a person that is sitting there the whole time. Don't get me wrong, there is human involvement. But you don't have one person or a few people just taking a screwdriver and putting your car together. No. They got big computerized robotics.
Yeah.
So
my grandfather worked on. And now they're even more sophisticated now back when he was working on them.
But when you get what I'm saying, like there's a lot of jobs that can be done away with. For real. Now, what I'm about to say, I hope it never happens, but it could happen. Like we live in an age where kids can technically go to school from home. And have a legitimate, you go to college online.
Yeah.
I took a lot of college courses online. Now you can completely go to college online.
Yeah.
And so you have where my youngest son, we have recess time. They have it mapped out. The teacher gives you a lesson plan. They even have involvement with each other.
Well, that
by doing Zoom.
The only thing that's going to prevent that is the fact that parents have to work. So I think.
But if they work from home,
well,
yeah.
I mean, that's going to be an interesting paradigm shift right there in and of itself. Because, like you said, if they work from home, then they could, essentially and effectively homeschool. But now we're talking about the social interaction, which is one of the main reasons why school is even the way it is.
But like I said, I hope that never happens.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that we do have the technology and things to make that thing happen. The reason why I bring that up is because the coronavirus is a very serious virus, or COVID-19, as it's officially called. Yeah,
officially called.
Okay, what happens when the next outbreak happens?
Hopefully, we'll be better prepared. Maybe we can get administration to put our pandemic team back together.
Is it not?
Nah, he fired him. That's the reason why we're going through this mess. He might have rehired him since we get back in this mess.
So we're not going to say what happens if it happens, but we're going to say what happens when it happens, because these diseases, it was a swine flu, then it was SARS,
Ebola.
Yeah, and all of those diseases and epidemics that we had.
Administration was smart enough, even the prior Republican administration, to have a response team.
All right. The point that I'm making is, out of all of those epidemics, I didn't take any of them serious.
I didn't either.
I mean, this is the only one that really caught my attention. You know,
and I would,
because when you tell me I can't go to work, you got my attention.
I feel you.
But that's what I'm saying. Like diseases, like what happens, y'all? Like for real, let's be serious for a second. Real talk. What happens when there's a disease that comes out that they can't control? Like, think about that for a second. Like the coronavirus. Okay, it's out of control, but it's like not eating people's faces off. You get what I'm saying? It's killing people, but it's killing people. And I'm not trying to say that. Just hear what I'm trying to say. It can be worse. It can be much worse.
Yeah.
There's diseases out that, basically just eat you. There's all kind of microbes and viruses and things. What happens if it gets out of control? And then we're in, like, it's a scene from Hollywood. We're living in our homes and we got the military going down the street in tanks. Listen to what I'm saying. I know y'all gonna think that it's far-fetched, but
you not want for conspiracy theories.
I'm not all the time, but just really think about it. Because the only way you can keep people at home in America is you got to get the military involved.
Yeah,
because you can't just tell them to stay home.
You remember people were afraid of that actual thing that you just said. They were afraid of, that the military was going to come,
because that's the only way you can keep people home. Nobody really. Okay, they told us to stay at home, but we didn't.
Right.
I mean, we did to the extent that we can't go sit down at a restaurant. But I guarantee you, if those restaurants was open, some of us would have been in them, even if they told us to stay at home.
Yeah, that's true.
So the only way that you will keep people stay at home is by force. And so what I'm saying is, what if it gets way out of control, And then Dr. Fauci, the chief expert on infectious diseases,
who they banned from the White House,
he says that the corona is going to resurface. And it's going to be much worse.
Yeah.
Now, he told us about this one, so his track record is
according to the models that they run.
Yeah, according to the models that they run. I mean, Florida, we're opening up Monday. Not all the way, but partially, and then the next phase will come later.
Right.
But America opens back up. Are we
prepared?
Are we ready to open back up? I mean, are we?
Well,
we'll see.
Well, our time was kind of run long. But that's something to ponder as we about to click off the live. Are we ready to wake, open back up? Appreciate y'all. And as always, we challenge you to think freely here at the Brandon and Carlos Show. Do so and make sure you do what?
Wash
Wash
them
them hands.